Let's start this morning with the government. I'm joined by the Housing Minister, Matthew Pennicook. Good morning.
Morning, Trevor.
Andrew Gwynne has been dismissed from his ministerial job, suspended from the Labour Party, because of WhatsApp messages that he appears to admit were anti-Semitic, racist, sexist and just in terribly bad taste. Will other Labour MPs and councillors on that WhatsApp group be suspended?
I haven't seen the details of the specific WhatsApp conversations in question, but the comments that Andrew Gwynne made, let's be clear, are completely unacceptable. And the Prime Minister has been very clear from day one of this Labour government that he is determined to uphold the highest standards of public office, determined to be a government that's in the service of working people, and he's acted decisively to dismiss Andrew Gwynne for that reason.
Yes, he's acted decisively, but we know that there is at least one other Labour MP and there are other Labour councillors in that group. Will they be suspended?
Well, the Labour Party, as you know, Trevor, have administratively suspended Andrew Gwynne. He's lost the Labour whip. There's an investigation taking place about that WhatsApp conversation. But we're very clear that the type of language used is completely unacceptable.
But we know that there is at least another Labour MP. His name will be known to the Prime Minister. Why is he this morning not suspended?
I don't know personally what other people on that WhatsApp conversation have said. I said I've been very clear, there's an investigation taking place into the whole incident. Andrew Gwynne, who we know what his comments have said, which are completely unacceptable, has been suspended from the Labour Party, has lost the Labour Party. The investigation will take place.
It's in the newspaper this morning that there's another Labour MP. You don't need an investigation. Everybody knows that. And why isn't that person suspended?
And I think what the public can take from the way the Prime Minister has acted decisively in this case to dismiss Andrew Gwynne is that if any other Labour MP or minister falls short, he will act to uphold the highest standards in public office. We've been very clear about that, and we're not going to let what is ultimately a distraction deter us from our plan for change, delivering for the British people.
Well, the problem is that he's now going to have, if he does as you say, this is going to make that story stretch on until he does dismiss that person. But let me just deal with what is the underlying issue here, whether or not the Prime Minister acted decisively. The real problem is that this exchange seems to have been completely unremarkable amongst Labour people in a group that included a minister and a Labour MP. And that nobody else in this group, which these exchanges went on for a couple of years, nobody else said, look, mate, what are you saying? Now, when you told us you'd gotten rid of the anti-Semites, were you kidding us or were you kidding yourselves? Because there were anti-Semitic remarks in this WhatsApp group that nobody seemed to have paid attention to.
And that is concerning. And those remarks are completely unacceptable.
And the people in that group are still in the Labour Party.
An investigation is taking place, and any action that needs to follow from that investigation will be seen through. I don't think anyone can be in any doubt about this Prime Minister or this government's commitment to upholding the highest standards in public office and to rooting out anti-Semitism from the Labour Party, root and branch.
The apology that Mr Gwynne has issued, let me ask you, just as a person, he says these remarks were misjudged. I apologise for any offence I've caused. How about I'm sorry I insulted my female elderly and Jewish constituents and I realise I'm not really fit to be a Member of Parliament? That's a proper apology rather than, oh, I'm sorry I caused any offence.
I don't speak for Andrew, and he can speak for himself.
Yeah, but you can speak for yourself and say, do you think that non-apology is appropriate here?
I think the view of the government on this situation, on what Andrew Gwynne has said, is perfectly clear and can be taken from how quickly and how decisively we've acted to dismiss him from his ministerial role. As I've said, the language is completely unacceptable. In some instances, it's deeply concerning.
It's what he thought.
What he thought.
It's a real level of contempt for his constituents, isn't it?
And the Prime Minister has acted to dismiss him from his ministerial role. As I've said, he's been suspended from the Labour whip. There's an administrative suspension from the party as well. I don't think your viewers would say there's anything more decisive we could have done in response, and as quickly as we have acted in response to this situation.